Hey, my shells, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Shella, and this week I'm telling my story 14 years lost, 2 years free. Yesterday, I talked about what 725 days sober really means. Today, I want to talk about something that kept me trapped longer than any pimp, any threat, and any physical force. The lie. Not a lie someone told me once. A lie I believe every single day for 14 years. And if you ever stayed in something that was destroying you, a relationship, a situation, a version of yourself that you hated, you might recognize this lie too. The lie wasn't complicated, it was simple. That's what made it so powerful. The lie was, this is all you deserve. Now, different people said it different ways. Someone said, no one else will ever want you. Someone said, you're lucky I even deal with your ass. Someone said, where else are you gonna go? Someone said, bitch, and where the fuck you think you going? And then there was the someone. It's always that someone that's very close to you, a family member, a loved one. And I remember this someone like it was yesterday. It was many years ago. I had caught myself in between, in the streets out. And I was on my way to a funeral. It was my niece, her daughter. And I remember we were in a limousine. It was all my cousins, all my siblings, and I think maybe my aunt as well. And we were in the limo, and I seen this guy, umpire, and he was digging. I probably said that wrong word. The word wrong. He was digging, and digging. And I remember looking at him, the joy, the smile, how a lot of people would say, oof, I'm never doing that. But he was so happy doing it. It's like he loved his job. And I remember that feeling, his emotions. I took it in and I said, oh, what's his title? I think I want to be that in a few years. And I remember my sister saying, shut the fuck up. Bitch, all you ever be is a prostitute. And it startled everyone. All my cousins, all my siblings. I could feel all of the eyes on me. And in my mind, I thought of 1,000 things I could say to crush her. But I didn't. In my mind, it just developed a new motivation. I was going to prove to her that I was going to be the best motherfucking prostitute she ever known to walk this earth. And I had a new agenda. From that moment, I checked out. I didn't even want to be there anymore. All I could think about is getting far the fuck away from her and never seeing her again. And after a while, I stopped hearing that negativity from all of them. And I started saying it to myself. That's the thing about the lies. When you hear them enough, they become your own voice. I would look myself in the mirror and think, this is what you are. This is all you ever be. Girl, where you think you going? You ain't got nowhere to go. And when you believe that about yourself, leaving isn't even an option. Because you don't believe there's anything better waiting for you outside of those doors. In fact, you start to believe you are the worst thing that ever happened to you. That's how it works. It doesn't start with violence. It doesn't start with force. It starts with love, or something that looks like love. Someone sees you. Someone makes you feel so special. Someone treats you like nothing else in the world matters. They treat you like you are all they got. You are all that matters. And for a girl who never felt like she mattered, that's everything. I remember what it felt like to be chosen, to be wanted, to feel like somebody actually cares about me. And then slowly, the script flips. And that same person who made you feel like a queen, like a princess, is the same person that makes you feel like nothing. But you don't leave because you remember those first 2 days, weeks, those first few months, that version of them that made you feel alive. And you spent years, you will spend years. I've spent years trying to get back to that person. Thinking if you just do better, if you just try harder, and if you don't mess up this time, maybe they will love me again. Maybe they will love you like they did in the beginning. But that person was never real. It was bait. It was bait. And by the time you realize that, you're already hooked. The hardest lies to break weren't the ones people told me. They were the ones I told myself. I told myself I deserve this. I told myself I can't survive on my own. I told myself no one would believe me. I told myself I was in too deep to ever get out. In the back of my mind, I still had so much to prove. To my siblings, to my cousins, aunts, uncles, parents, to that sister. So I kept trying to find the one. And every time I thought about leaving, that voice would say, Shella, where? Shella, and do what? And be who? I didn't have the answers, so I stayed. Not because I was stupid, no. Not because I was weak, but because I was so broken that I couldn't imagine myself as anything else. The lie that had become my identity. I didn't know who I was without the chaos, without the trauma, without the pain. I've been in survival mode for so long that I forgot there was any other way to live. Breaking the lie didn't happen overnight. It started with one moment of clarity. One moment where I looked at my life and I thought, this can't be it. This can't be all there is. And instead of the lie answering back, something else did. Something that said, you don't have to die like this. That voice was so small, quiet, almost a whisper. But it was louder than those 14 years of lies because it was the truth. And the truth is, I was never unloved. I was never worthless. I was never just anything. I was just a girl, a woman who had been lied to, manipulated, and beaten and broken down. But I was still breathing. And as long as I was breathing, I could choose something different. It took time, it took rehab, it took therapy, it took falling down and getting back up more times than I can count. But eventually, I stopped believing the lie and I started believing in myself. If you're watching this and you're still believing the lie someone told you about yourself, let me tell you the truth. You are not what happened to you. You are not what they called you. You are not what they made you do. You are a whole human being, worthy of love, of peace, worthy of a soft life. The lie wants you to stay small, stuck, silent. But the truth will set you free. It set me free. 726 days ago, I chose to believe the truth. And I'm never going back. If this helped you, share with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and remember, the lie doesn't get the last word. You do. Tomorrow, I'm going to answer the question everyone asks: why do women stay? The answer might surprise you. I'll see you tomorrow, my shells.